Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Transwest Truck Trailer RV here in Frederick, Colorado. My name's Taylor, and today we're going to be going over the all-new 2026 Newmar Supreme Aire. This is the 4505, so if you guys aren't familiar with it, the new release of it, having the option to get it on a Cascadia chassis. So this is on the DD16, which gives you the 600 horsepower, which is a phenomenal amount of power. 30,000 pounds of towing capacity and all that good stuff. So we're going to go ahead and take a walk around the outside first, and then we'll end off on the inside. So let's go ahead and come up front here to this. We'll start off with the tires. We have our Michelin tires. These are the 315/80R 22.5s with our steel rims. As we work our way up here, given that this is on a Cascadia, you have a nice new cab, bigger mirrors to give you the best visibility possible, especially with this big one right here to make sure you can see directly below you, to make sure no one's in your way when you are parking it. And then we have a nice little grip here as we enter the cockpit as well, so you don't have to worry about any slips or trips. And then of course the standard for 2026 is that 360 camera. So our first camera that I'll be pointing out right here will have that blind spot detector for you. And as we work our way all the way up here, we have the Girard package for your awnings and a beautiful exterior paint. So this one I'm probably gonna, it's the Portage graphics, but it's kind of cool. You have up to 5 different graphics specifically on the 45 footer. You can get the Artesian custom. This is a one-on-one design, so if you find a color or graphic somewhere, you can go ahead and claim that and nobody else can get it. So it's kind of cool that Newmar is offering that as well. They have also paired up with ATC. I've had a lot of customers come in asking if they can get their double stack trailer kind of custom paint to match the paint job of their coach. Now Newmar is also offering that as well. So if you guys wanted to get a combo, you can order directly from Newmar and ATC, and they can kind of get it packaged and delivered here to us. So, all right, going into it in our first bay here. Nothing too fancy. We do have some nice LED light strips in there that turn on automatically when you open that door. Another cool thing I wanted to point out for 2026 is they upgraded their the More Ride baggage doors. So these are going to be just a little bit more durable, flexible. They're stronger, but they are lighter, so that's going to help with the overall weight of the coach as well. And then of course, just nice, easier and seamless to close. All right, next over here is just our HWH controllers here. Nothing too fancy, it's just kind of an access point. And our third bay down, we have our Oasis Chinook. So this is the hydronic heating system. Again, nothing but the best. It isn't gonna have really big white clouds kind of smoking out your neighbor or anything like that. It's better for the ecosystem because it is lower smoke. All right. Sliding on over, we just have 2 shelves here with a nice little cork board, so you can go ahead and put in all of your extra fluids here if you'd like, or any extra tools. And then directly above that, we have our entertainment system with the Bose sound bar. And then up here, we do have some charging options if needed. All right, moving forward to the next bay, we have our fridge/freezer, which is on a manual sliding drawer here. So you can go ahead and put, if you need some extra freezer space, you can go ahead and set the temperature here to be a freezer or a fridge for some extra outdoor drinks or for some steaks. All right, we have our twin screw here in the back. Again, these are still the Michelins, but these are the 295/80R 22.5s. And lastly, for one of our main storage areas, you do have some pass-through storage here with a sliding tray. And then you do have your road vac in this compartment as well, with the extra appliances here for your hoses. Alrighty, and then we have some extra tiles, some more hitch stuff in here. And then this is, I already popped it, but you can go ahead and pop the hood back here so we can give you guys some more storage to look at. All right, now as you take a look in the back, we have some more little cubbies here, and then a lot of people will put their tools or an extra ladder, but you got a little bit more pass-through storage here, which is kind of nice for all those extra tools, especially if you like to tinker with your chassis, or if you're ever in a pinch and need to fix something, you can. All right, then I just want to take a nice little glimpse of this rear. And then I wanted to mention too, we do have a total of 4 of the Merlin solar panels. So they switched to the Merlin brand. These are 120 watts instead of the original, which was 110. So you get a little bit more wattage there, which is great. Our 600 horsepower, again, Cascadia emblem right there. And then we have our 30,000 pound towing capacity hitch, and you have the adjustable for your stacker trailer, so you can go ahead and adjust the height if needed. And then you just have your Voyager and another plug in there, so you can keep your trailer plugged in as well. Alrighty, if you did have the double stacker trailer and you needed to charge it, you can go ahead and charge it right there with that 30 amp shore power cord plug-in. And then we just have the other side of that pass-through storage for you, and again, the extra tile that's poking out that we seen earlier. Here is our Cummins generator. This is going to be the 12.5 kilowatts generator. Again, tremendous amount of power for this coach. And the exhaust that pokes out right here. Just nice little cubby hole for those dump hoses or any other dirty items that you don't want rolling around in the underbelly of the coach. Easy to clean, and it has a hole in the very back to kind of get that nicely rinsed out. Alrighty, as we slide over here, we have our nice wet bay. So we have our stainless steel shower, our hose, that's manual pull, auto retract. And then we have our black valve open and our gray valve open right over here. And then you do have a nice little touch screen, so you can go ahead and flip through the tanks as well as power, and then some other exterior features with lights and stuff like that. Right here is where we'll put our filter, which is out right now. But I love how it has that stainless steel etched in backsplash, so nothing will be peeling off over time. And it just makes a dirty bay look very clean and sleek. All right, next up here we have our 50 amp shore power cord, the same as our hose, so it's a manual retract, automatic pull here. Where's the button though? Ah, forgot. They changed the button over here, so you don't have to bend over when you are reeling that in. Alrighty, and now to the good stuff. We have another great upgrade here. So you have a total of the 2 3,000 watt inverters. So they're going to be the Victrons now, which is a standard. You'll get one 3,000 watt. We upgraded to get a total of 2. And then you have your lithium ion battery here, which is a total of 640 watts there. So you'll be able to run that AC while you're going down the road and not have to worry about running your generator. Nothing too crazy here, just a nice little access point, and then directly across from it is just some additional storage, again with that LED light. And for our last bay here, we just have our Oasis fluid, and then up top there you have your aux air cockpit chair, so you can go ahead and turn on and off, and then you do have your hot water outlet. And then just a nice little bio gasket, so you can go ahead and change that out when needed. We have our other camera right over here. We could take our first glimpse of the beautiful, luxurious, another cool point for upgrading to a Cascadia, getting bigger chairs, more comfortable inside here, so it's not as tight and compact. You have a lot more room in here. And just the color options as well are very nice. Another thing is not only heated but cooled seats, which is awesome. I know a lot of people have been asking about that. Oh, they have the heated, but when are they going to start doing the cooled? And then you have all of your lumbar settings here again with that air ride. Alrighty. Up front here, we already have the cab kind of popped open for you guys, but again, this is on the Cascadia DD16 engine, 600 horsepower, tandem axle again, with that 30,000 pound towing capacity. Everything is within hand's reach, so if you like to service your own chassis, you have the full capabilities of doing so. All right, now I'll go ahead and close it so you guys can get a peek of what that cab looks like. Still got nice sloped hood for a little bit better visibility. Nice windshield there, and then you do have the Detroit assistance package, so that's your assurance package to kind of help while you're going down the road for your cruise control and adaptive cruise control as well. I will just latch that later, but let's go ahead and take a look on the inside. Alrighty, I'll let you guys go ahead and take the first steps in. I have the lights on and the shades nice and blacked out to kind of help with the colors through the camera. Perfect. As you guys are shimming your way through, as you can see, you still have a nice space to walk through here. You don't really have to do the sideways shuffle. It's going to be perfect for pets. They'll be able to walk through and kind of get nice and comfy and cozy next to you. And I will go ahead and open up the slides here, starting with that driver's slide. All right, so we got our nice full wall slide coming out on that driver's side, which is hydraulic. Another thing I did want to mention is this is equipped with Starlink. That's another upgrade that we did at Newmar. All right, and then going to our passenger slide. Alrighty, perfect. We are going to go ahead and start in the back, but before we do that, I know you guys are kind of slowly taking in the living area. Not sure if you kind of caught the nice two-tone cabinet, so you have the white on top and more of like, it's not actually black, but it's a really dark brown on the bottom. I think it's a really nice contrast, so it doesn't, a lot of people say with darker woods, they feel a little bit more closed in, so I think this is the nice little bright accent that you kind of need to make it feel a little bit light and airy. But I don't want to forget this control center up here. Once I close it, I'm gonna probably squirrel and forget it. So I just wanted to kind of bring this to your attention real quick. Super simple, straightforward. We have our awning controllers here, our Winegard, and then our Victron. Step cover here, so you don't have to worry. I already almost tripped. So you can go ahead and cover this up and it will be completely flush. So you don't have to worry about even pets or you slipping or tripping when you're ready to close up camp. You know you're not going to be going outside anymore. It's kind of nice having that. And you just have an entry lock. This is for your baggage doors, so you can go ahead and unlock them and lock them without having to use the key, which is nice. And then this is just for that lithium battery. If they ever do go in like to a protection mode, once they get down to 10%, they'll shut off to protect themselves. You can go ahead and just wake them up here. You don't have to go all the way out in your bay and do it from there. So I love having that. Your battery disconnect, and then you just have some security lights, patio lights, and then these are the two slide controllers that I just used to get both of these slides open. We have our HWH leveling, and then also the master reset switch if needed. Whoops. All right, I'm going to finish getting the bedroom lights on for us. There we go. And then I'll get this last slide in the bedroom. Alrighty, now we're all ready. Let's go ahead and work our way back here to our master bath, and we'll start in the corner in the shower here. So we have a nice tile, backsplash embodied whole shower here. And then we have the seat that you can that's an option to go ahead and put that there if you'd like, but it's nice to kind of have somewhere to sit down if needed. And then you have the shower miser. It's been around for a while, so it's the water saving system. If this bubble is glowing, then that lets you know the temperature you set it at has finally reached that temperature, so you can go ahead and turn on that shower without having to waste any water. You do have your skylight up here, so for people that are a little bit taller, it gives you a little bit more headroom. And then directly across that, which is underneath the toilet, you have your nice little vent fan here, fantastic fan. Again, right over the toilet, you have a nice little cabinet area to put all of your toiletries, and then your Dometic controller for your toilet as well, and the toilet paper holder. As we slide over here, you can see the beautiful gray backsplash, which kind of ties in with all the rest of the colors inside of the coach. This I will go ahead and open really quick. You have a nice little medicine cabinet that's kind of hidden within the wall, which makes it kind of nice because it's not really protruding. Makes it feel a little bit more spacious in here. You do have another light here that I just don't have turned on. Apologies. I could turn the vanity on. There we go. So it makes it a little bit brighter in here. Again, beautiful style for your sink there. And then of course you have a nice little hidden safe in your closet. And I'll just go ahead and pop open these really quick so you can kind of see all of the storage that you have accessible in here. Total of 3 drawers, and then under the sink. Everything is soft closed and dovetailed. And lastly, you have your Splendid washer and dryer. And of course, your pocket door to give yourself some privacy. Close that off. All right, sliding over here to our king bed. You do have, as always, storage up above here. It is through and through. You do have some charging. Down below here, you have a nice padded headboard. 2 windows on either side. They do open. I just have them blacked out right now to kind of help with the lighting. More charging on either side, and a little cabinet for some additional storage. I'm gonna also show you the storage underneath the bed. Right now we just have the cushion, just because so the table can turn into a bed if needed. Perfect amount of storage. Close this down for you. And then directly across from that, we do have some more hanging storage. So we did show you the first one inside of the bathroom. So you have a total of 3, which makes it really nice. And then you still have an additional counter spot here with a window, which also duals as the emergency exit if needed. And I'm just gonna go ahead and open up the 5 drawers that you have here. And then this last one is just a glass door for any of those receivers or anything for your TV. All right, we have a nice little controller over here, just a touch screen. So they started doing the ATC. This is just on our lights right now. But as you can see, we can do lights, vents, fans, shades, your TV lift, exterior tanks, powers, floor heat, and then also climate. This is also something that you can download onto your phone, so you can have another option of go ahead and customizing everything. And then you have your slide out controller for your bedroom right over here. All right, on to, go ahead and turn on the lights in here. Then I'll pop out so you guys can see. But into our half bath here. Again, tremendous counter space. You still have the same medicine cabinet space, and then a little bit of space underneath, over the toilet, but it's mainly just going to be your control panel, so you could put a few things in here if needed. I'll go ahead and open up the cabinets here. Notice it does have a chain, so you don't have to worry about damaging your cabinet or the toilet. And then you have two more right here. Different style sink, but the same concept. It's kind of nice to change it up a little bit. And here is our whole control system, similar to what we just looked at, but it's just on a bigger version, so you can do a little bit more through here. This is our home page, kind of showing us an overview of everything, and then you can kind of dial in and go into each one of these as well. All right, directly behind you guys, you have our nice pantry here. It's kind of a split two style, so these ones are drawers you push in and pull out. So you have a total of 5 of those, I believe. 2, 4, yes, 5. And then additional cubby space inside here. You have 2 little cubbies that are a little further back. And then this one's a different style. So I kind of like how they're changing it up a little bit. So for those larger boxes or canned items or anything like that. I know a lot of people, for their first trip, they always go to Costco, and everything's so big at Costco, so then you feel like you don't have as much storage. So having that split pantry seems like that would help out a bit. Our freezer with our ice cube tray. We do have the water outside of the fridge. And then plenty of storage in here for our whirlpool. Residential fridge, and then a nice little lock so you don't have to worry about it opening up while you're going down the road. All right, right over here, we have plenty of storage up above, so we'll just go ahead and start from the top. And then I'm going to make sure we have all the lights on here, because this side is not on. Accent, courtesy. There we go. I'm turning on the other side, but kitchen. Perfect. All right, we have our nice little theater seats here as well. So if you haven't tested these out, these are very comfy and electric, which you also have a nice little USB in here too if you needed to charge anything. This is kind of new. I really like that. So instead of it being leather all the way through with your cup holders, kind of gives it a nice little option. So in case you do spill a little bit, then you don't have to worry about it damaging the leather. It just gives it a little bit nicer of a harder surface. So if you do set something down and it's not in the cup holder, it's not falling off. And then you still have the tremendous amount of storage in here for all of the movies, snacks, magazines, books, or any of those trinkets that you like to have right next to you. And then I know I did pass the booth dinette here, so this one is nice because all you have to do is pull this lever right under here, and you go ahead and push this down. I'm not going to fight with it though right now, just because I don't want to awkwardly have to do that. But you just undo the lever here, push this down, that big cushion that you've seen underneath the bed. You go ahead and fill that in here, and you have a nice little option to sleep some kiddos if needed. All right, and then we will go ahead and jump over here across from our theater seats. So you have a nice little bed option. So if you had someone that is a little bit taller or bigger, then you have another sleeping option here. We have our TV that will pop up as well. So I like how it kind of puts itself away if you don't need it. And then of course, some additional storage up above. And similar to the bedroom, the glass connector here. So for any of those receivers or satellites for your TV, you have that accessibility. All right, now moving on into our kitchen, we have our whirlpool. So this is not only convection, but it now is air fryer. A lot of people, I feel like, travel with air fryers, and air fryers are still just the hot commodity. Everybody's using them. So I love how it is a 3-in-1. You don't have to worry about kind of where you're gonna put the big bulky air fryer. And then directly below that, you still have your True Induction cooktop, dual-sided for a cutting board, the beautiful kitchen window, so you can kind of look out as you're cooking or even washing the dishes. Our drawer with all of our extra paints and all of our remotes. Another cool thing that Newmar did is they, instead of everything that's in the Cascadia, they upgraded it to the Bose. So you kind of have some better speakers in here. We have our Fisher dishwasher. So you do actually have to turn it on and then you can open it. It has like a nice little safety lock in there. And then I'll go ahead and just open up all of our storage here. All right. Our Newmar handy dandy notebook here, and then this is adjustable. So if you need to change the height, you can do so. Nice little stickers in here that kind of give you the colors, what the numbers are. So if you needed to call Newmar and get some more paint, you can go ahead and do that. And then the last little cubby here, before we drop down and look at our undermount sink. I like how it's kind of a smoky stainless steel. And then we have another control panel here. Perfect. All right, we're gonna go ahead and end off up here. But I did just want to open up the storage that you have. Either side's the same, but once I open the sides, then I can't open these ones. But and you do have your nice skylight right here. I just have that closed as well, because it can get really bright in here. Perfect. And as we work our way down, we have some more storage here on either side. I like how they close up and they buckle, so you can really put some stuff in there and you don't have to worry about falling on your head when you're driving. Alrighty, and as far as just all the luxuries inside of here, you have the beautiful Cascadia, more sleek dash. The touchscreen for your radio is kind of angled more at you for a little bit better safety as well. And we'll go ahead, but get this turned on for you so you can kind of see all it fire up. There we go. Turn that volume down so it slowly starts to wake up. All right, so once you turn it on, we'll go ahead and give you any reminders or signals that you need. I just kind of half clicked it so I didn't start the chassis or anything, just throwing that out there. But you have that beautiful LED dash up here, and then you have this one that's angled a little bit more towards you, the Freightliner chassis, and then you have for the drive, neutral and reverse, also for your manual and automatic, is with enhanced reach as well, so you don't have to kind of take your hand off the wheel to go over here or over here, anything like that. Down below here, you just have all of those accessory buttons, your hazard lights, your trailer air supply, parking brake. You can also start that generator if needed. You have your house and battery boost. So if you're ever in a pinch, you can go ahead and use that to jump the other or vice versa. Your docking lights, courtesy lights, and then you just have all the AC heating and cooling options up here. But I know I kind of sat down first, but I wanted to at least, these are swivelable, so you can go ahead and swivel these around to kind of get a little bit more of a seating entertainment area inside your dining room. And then all those controllers, I know I kind of pointed out earlier when we were outside of the rig, but you have your heating and cooling, the high, medium, and low, and then you each have your air ride suspension, so you can go ahead and customize that to your liking just to give you the most comfortable and luxurious ride as possible. But again, I know this was kind of a brief overview of the 2026, again, Newmar Supreme Aire 4505. So if you guys have any comments, questions, or concerns, you'd like an MSRP brochure, you even like to come and check it out for yourself or test drive it, I'd be happy to assist you guys with that. So you can go ahead and give me a call or an email at my information below, which is 970-388-7937. Thanks for tuning in, guys, and have a great day.